No one wanted him. Not because he was aggressive, not because he was loud, not because he caused trouble, but because he was quiet, because he was sick, because he looked like a dog. That wouldn't last long. And in places like this, those are the dogs people said to walk past. The shelter was never silent. Barking, metal doors rattling, footsteps echoing across concrete floors. Dogs filled the space with noise, like they were trying to prove they were still here, still worth seeing. Some jumped at the gates, tails wagging wildly. Some cried. Some spun in circles. Some stared at every person who walked in, like this might be their moment. But at the very end of the row, past the noise, past the movement, was a kennel people didn't stop at. He didn't bark, didn't jump, didn't even come forward. He just lay there, curled into himself, as if the smaller he became, the less he would be noticed. People would glance in, just for a second, and that was enough. Enough to see the ribs, the dull coat, the stillness. Oh! And then they'd move on, toward the dogs that promised more, because choosing him felt like choosing heartbreak. No one knew exactly where he came from, but his body told enough. The weight he'd lost, the way he flinched, the way he avoided eyes. At some point, he had been someone's dog. He had waited for someone, trusted someone, and then one day, that door never opened again. Days passed, then more. Dogs were adopted, kennels emptied, then filled again. But his stayed the same. Same corner, same silence. The staff cleaned around him, spoke gently to him, but he never came closer. Shelters aren't sad because people don't care. They're sad because people do care. But there are too many dogs, too many stories, and not enough people willing to choose. The uncertain ones. He started eating less, not suddenly, just less. The staff noticed, they always notice, but noticing doesn't always change the outcome. This is the moment most people leave. This is where it becomes real. Because choosing a dog like him means accepting what might come next. Then one afternoon, the door opened again, another visitor. But she didn't move like the others, didn't rush to the noise. She moved slowly, like she was searching for something else. She passed kennel after kennel, dogs jumping, barking, reaching for her, but she kept walking until she reached the end and stopped. At first, nothing happened, and then he lifted his head. The staff told her everything, the illness, the uncertainty, how little time he might have. Most people walk away here. Most people have to, but she didn't. She didn't look at the staff, didn't step back. She just kept looking at him and said, "I don't need forever. I just don't want him to be alone." The first night wasn't what people expect. No excitement, no exploring. He just lay there, watching, as if he was waiting for everything to disappear again. But it didn't. Morning came, and he was still there, and so was she. It wasn't sudden, but things changed. He ate a little more, slept a little deeper, and one day, he followed her, just a few steps, but it meant everything. He wasn't fixed overnight. He wasn't suddenly a different dog, but he was no longer invisible, because being chosen isn't always about saving a life. Sometimes it's about making sure a life is seen. Some dogs aren't waiting for a home. They're waiting for someone who won't walk away. And if stories like this stay with you, they're the ones I write about.